And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be hitting rank 5 with the Qitari Beast Tribe in Final Fantasy XIV. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, we are here in Ratika Greatwood at 3717. I've done enough dailies to hit the cap of rank 4 with the Qitari. And then a new quest appears from the Serpent. The quest is called Delving Deeper. The Great Serpent of Ronka wishes to impart divine wisdom upon you, or so you think. So, Scree. So the serpent jumps about joyfully. It appears that the Qitari excavation effort is proceeding swimmingly. Speak with Sharkwall and see if there is anything that you might do to lend a hand. Okay, so let's do that. So, oh, Mithrie, you'll be happy to know that the charm your friends fashioned for us worked most splendidly. We've been able to reach deeper depths than ever before. And thanks to you, the restoration of the first Stella is all but complete. You simply must see it. You'll also be pleased to know that the relics and records that turned up in our subsequent trips below have confirmed that the interpretation of history that you espoused was indeed and undubitably true. We came upon many ritual instruments in the tunnels below. It is most clear that, let it suffice to say, that we Qitari have never been particularly adept at the art of war. So it was that our ancestors searched far and wide for a safe haven where they could call home. Ronka, on the other hand, was composed of many strong peoples. The Ronso brave warriors, the Dran, adept at arcane arts, and the V's, peerless archers, all working together for the Empire's prosperity. Not long after the Qitari first made contact with the Empire, our skill as scribes and as scriveners became evident to high-ranking court officials, and we were offered a prominent role in Ronka's society in return for our loyal service. Four races so different, all living and working together for the greater good. What I wouldn't give to be able to live just one day in those glorious days of the Empire. But our work is far from done. Indeed, in our explorations, we have found what appears to be an entrance leading to an even deeper level of caves. I have little doubt that the remaining stellae lie further below. I have sent a team below to conduct a preliminary investigation before we begin the next phase of the excavation in earnest. My trusted scout, Tawal Manol, should be here to make a report at any... Master Qitari, I bring news from below. News that I fear is not good. Or Qital. Again, I swear, if we Qitari did not have rotten luck, we would have none at all. Do tell, what did you find down there? Entering the second stratum, we came upon a shrine to our protector, Ox Dalan. It appeared to have been ravaged by the beasts that lurked below, but still it stood after all these years. A shrine, you say? No doubt it was erected by our ancestors, most likely to ward off some greater danger that lurks further below. This was my thought as well, Master Qital. A cave-in, a flood, fearsome creatures from the deep. We were too fear-stricken to press onward, not knowing what manner of calamity might befall us. But we must press on somehow. Can you not appeal to the Dalan somehow? That he might protect us as we delve further? Indeed, perhaps there is a suitable ritual for the occasion. Sadly, if there is, I fear it is beyond my knowledge. I think I know of these who could help you. Why, yes, indeed. The V's are nothing if not well versed in Ronkan tradition. The one with the hair of the colour of night, Master Lanil, was it? I hear she has lived as long as 10 Qitari. Yes, I am certain that she will have knowledge that will serve us well. Long-lived as they are, the wisdom that they have passed down through generations doubtless rivals that which our ancestors recorded. If anyone can help us, I dare say it is them. Good Mithrie, pray take to Fanao at once. I would meet their master Lanil, that I might partake in her deep knowledge of ancient Ronga rites. Okay, so we should be able to teleport straight there. Okay, let's go. It's not too far, I mean, let's be honest. Okay, let's go. Alright, here is Lanil. And she doesn't look like she's 200 years old. We had heard rumors the Qitari had returned to the Great Wood, but did not expect to receive a visit so soon. Just seeing you brings back memories of olden times. Memories? Do you mean that? You knew my ancestors? I'm older than you might think, my little friend. Anyhow, the answer is yes. Have you heard the name Sharple Tokwal? He was a close friend of mine, and would come calling often to exchange news of the wood. Sharple Tokwal, I do believe I saw the name on father's family tree, but if I recall correctly, she was my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great grandmother. Ha! It was that long ago, was it? How quickly the years fly by. Still, I am heartened by your presence, young Sharkwell. For many years after the flood, I feared that we would never see one of your kind again. And you, Mithrie, welcome back to Fanao. What brings you to us this day? I see. Our Qitari friends seek to discover their history and reclaim the knowledge and lore of their ancestors. An admirable goal indeed, and doubtless not a simple task. We would be honoured to lend you our aid and reforge the bonds between our people that were so strong in the days of Ronka. Now do tell me more about these tunnels you are exploring. My dear sister has quite a weakness for ancient Ronga ruins and relics, you see. To tell the truth, I have been preparing to leave the Great Wood on a journey of the realm, but if the Qitari required my aid, perhaps I could postpone my departure just a bit longer. Scree? It would seem that the Great Serpent smiles upon our partnership as well. This is auspicious indeed. Master Lanil, what knowledge of the Qitari lives on here in Fanao? Very little, I'm afraid. The tales I can remember hearing from my dear departed friend, and no more. Sadly, the precise details of the Qitari rites and rituals are beyond my recollection. And yeah, I do recall Shipal once mentioning that Qitari prayers to Oxtalan were remarkably similar in form to our own petitions to Maja. It is not so surprising, perhaps, given how closely our two peoples were connected in those days. If we were to teach you one of our own traditions, mayhap you could adapt it to your own purposes? You would do this for us? Gladly, old friend. But first, we will need to prepare a simple altar for performing the rite, and find ourselves a suitable offering. The liver and blood of an ancient beast together with a single Dalan's claw. A rare crustacean that lurks in the chill waters of the Lostat. Or Losat. I know the ways of the beasts of the wood. Leave the hunting to me. As for the final offering, I suspect Mithrie would have little difficulty acquiring it, yes? Excellent. In the meantime, I will teach the ritual to young Charcoal here. Were the passage into the tunnels larger, we would accompany you ourselves, but alas. Do not worry, my good Master Lenil. I will learn the words and gestures well, and Dalan will hear our plea. Just you wait and see. Hehehe. You're a spirited one, child, but be forewarned. Master Lenil is a strict task mistress. Egads, forgive me, my friends. I will do my best. Anyhow, let us all reconvene at Hopple's Stopple when we are finished with our allocated tasks. Okay, so I need to get a Dalan Claw. Alright, so once I work out how to actually get the Dalan Claw, we will continue. Okay, so we got to this river that's marked here. So it seems we have to just catch the claw. Okay, so mark for the quest has been activated. But let's see if I can get it. Let's hook it in. Okay, done. We got it. Alright. So, once we get back to the Qitari camp, then we will continue. Okay, so we're back. So let's give him the claw. So I was wondering when you might return, Mithrie. Have you found the offering that we require? Yep. Here you go. So the V's believe this will suffice as an offering to Dalan. Very well, so be it. As soon as Charcoal and the V's arrive, we will begin the second phase of the excavation. So why? Just look at all the Qitaris scurrying about. I had heard that they were an industrious people, but to see it with my own eyes is very impressive indeed. Hail and well met. I am Fina of Fanao, and this is my sister, Suna. We have come to assist in the ritual in which your son has doubtless told you. Greetings. Please accept my apologies for making a fuss so close to your village, and without properly paying my respects. I fear that I've been quite preoccupied with my duties here. There's no need for that, friend. It is we who should apologize for our sisters who gave you such a fright upon your return home. As you may well know, our peoples were strong friends and allies in the days of Ronka. It is our honor to reforge those bonds in the present day. Should you require anything of us, you need but say the word. Anyhow, thanks to Mithrie here, we've seen that we have all the offerings needed to proceed with the ritual. Do you remember all that Master Lenil taught you, Sharkwell? But of course, I said the words over to myself 100 times on the way here. I will do your Master Lenil and my people proud. I should hope so, my son. Very well. Let the dig begin. Shucks. Wee. Well, let's... sometime later. Are we actually going to get to see this cave at some point? So, Quadzol and Charcoal have safely returned home from their investigation of the tunnels. Okay, talk to him to finish off the quest. So I cannot say for sure. We found a second Stella, but I fear, much as the last one, that it proved too massive to carry to the surface. Just as we were pondering our next course of action, this armor-clad fellow arrived and let out a mighty scree. Precisely. While I cannot confess to fully understand the import of what it is saying, I can only surmise that the serpent once again wishes for us to call upon the wisdom of the ally Ronka, Mithrie that is, and restore the Stella to its erstwhile form. And yet, much as last time, the engravings are weathered to no small degree. I have my own thoughts about what they signify, but I do hear my son's theory first. What say you, Sharkwell? Well, let me see now. One marking was clearly of the V's, knocking a bow. Then I could make out the semblance of a Qitari, his arm seemingly held in the air. The image of the V's on a Qitari stone. How fascinating. This is the first time it depicted our history with the Ronka Empire. No doubt that these markings tell of the first encounter between our two peoples. Having befriended the benevolent Ronkans, our people then met the V's, skilled hunters and wise to the ways of the forest. So pleased were our ancestors that they threw their hands into the air in glee. That is a most optimistic interpretation, my boy. And yeah, I feel it is more logical to read the stone a different way. Doubtless the V's came upon our ancestors, more or less going about the forest, and took them for prey. Facing arrows pointed at their hearts, our ancestors threw up their hands in sheer terror. So it was that the V's, newcomers of the Great Wood, nearly came into conflict with the mighty Ronkan Empire. Our legends tell of how the goddess Zimaja guided our people through the forest, but say little of what awaited us upon our arrival there. As far as we can say, both theories are more than plausible. Still, I would hope to believe... No, I will say no more. It would ill behoove me to stick my nose in matters of Qitari lore. I agree, Qitari history should be written by the Qitari themselves. In any event, we are pleased that we were able to contribute to your cause in some small way. We shall return to for now, but please do not hesitate to call upon us again. There is still much catching up to do between our peoples. Once again, it seems that we find ourselves with a choice to make. Squee squee. Yes, Mithrie, I do impart upon us your wisdom once more. How are you inclined to interpret our history? And let's complete. Okay, reputation up. I've increased to respected. Again, father and son arrived at different theories regarding the history of Qitari as recorded on the Stella. At the bidding of the Great Serpent, it falls to you to serve as mediator. You achieved respected reputation with the stewards. With the wisdom and blessings of the V's, an altar to Oxtalan has been constructed at Hoppel Stoppel. Doubtless this will serve to protect and impart good fortune to Qitari as they continue to explore the tunnels. New Beast Tribe quests are available. Furthermore, you can undertake free quests as a bonus, and you can get a wider selection of wares. Oh. So let's proceed. Again, I'm going to pick Sharkwell. So you two saw how Master Lanil welcomed us when we visited for now, yes? Why, it's simply post-prepious to think that the friends of my great and so on, grandmothers and grandfathers hunted us like vermin. Yes, I am quite certain that the V's were our friends from the earliest of days. The Qitari in the markings is meant to be raising his hands in sheer joy. Surely you agree? If you like to vouch for Sharkwell's history, the second Stella will be restored to reflect his interpretation of history. Proceed and you will be unable to view the Stella of the other guy. Rewards you receive and the content that follow will be the same, regardless. Okay, I'm going to just support his theory. So, Splifenderous. Oh, thank you, Mithrie. I knew you would see things as I did. So, Quest, the second seller, fast friends. Sharkwall would convince you of the merits regarding his theory of the history between the Qitari and the V's. You believe my son has a right of it? Well, I suppose that there is something to be said for adopting a brighter view of history. Very well, let us proceed with the restoration. At long last, another piece of our history comes into focus, but our struggle to reclaim our legacy goes on. Pray continue to lend us your aid. Okay, let's turn it in. Father and I will send our finest artisans. The work must begin at once. Okay, let's complete. Cool. So the second Qitari stela has been restored to depict Sharkwall's interpretation of the first encounter between the Qitari and the V's. Protected by the new altar, erected according to the traditions of the V's and heartened by redesigning another piece of their heritage, the stewards have returned to their excavation efforts with newfound zeal. Should you choose to continue to aid them in their cause. Alright, done. So now I'll need to keep doing the dailies until we hit the next rank, which will be rank 6. So anyway guys, that's it for this episode. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. And as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye guys.